Welcome everyone to the first semi-finals of the FAIRFAX, the DCL T20 Cup 2022, and this first semi-final taking place between the Comets and RedZod. So an exciting game coming up, and I've got both the captains here alongside me. So the captain of the Comets, Faisal Khan, and the captain of RedZod, Nomi Amir. So we'll give the coin a flip now. Tails. Heads. Heads is the call from Faisal. And it is heads.
You're going to bat first.
So Comets, they're going to bat first. Now, Faisal, what really went into that decision where you want to bat first?
Well, a couple of things actually. So we've like I said before that we've chased and we've batted both. We've done that together. So it's a hit and miss either way. It's getting cold right now, so before it gets too cold, we want to get done with the batting, and we actually would like to put a decent total on the board and try to defend it.
And what do you think a decent total is really going to be?
I think with the side we are dealing with, we would expect to do it 180 plus, but then see how it comes out. But at least projecting 180 plus at least. That's what we'll do.
Well, great, and thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
And now RedZod, Nomi. Nomi, you lost the toss. Happy bowling first, or would you have won?
To be honest, if I would have won the toss, I came with mixed feeling, but I would first as well. But to be very honest with you, I'm deciding to make that decision. He did on my behalf, so would love to go first. Not an issue. I know the conditions are going to get really messy later on down the tonight, and it's going to get probably much colder and it's going to have dew. So I don't know how the field is going to play. So I would rather field now and bowl first now.
And what do you think is going to be a good total to chase here?
Yeah, so I know they're a very good team, and they haven't lost a game in this tournament so far. And I know they're aiming for 180 plus, but if we restrict them in anything under 160, I think we will have the game. But they're going to give a tough fight, there's no doubt. But 160, that's what we're aiming for. Anything.
Here for the first semi-finals in Oakton, Virginia, where the Comets Cricket Club take on RedZod. Winning the toss, electing to bat first, and both the Comets openers out there. Rosi Islam, the man on strike, and Faisal Khan, the captain at the non-striker's end. For RedZod, opening their bowling is their usual bowler Ahmed Chaudhary there at the top, who has been phenomenal in this tournament. And just a couple of changes being made in the field here for RedZod as Chaudhary runs in for his second delivery. And that's just driven into that covers region. Will still remain a dot ball, so yet to get off the mark here is Rosi Islam in the Comet side. And a swing and a miss there outside off now. So there's a good bowling here continuing from Chaudhary first up. And we continue to see here, this is a do or die game. The winner advancing into the finals, the loser eliminated from the tournament altogether. So a big game here, pressure game for both these sides, who have done so well up until now. And Chaudhary and RedZod have gotten a good start here in the first over. Oh, and another swing and a miss there, going a bit fuller. And Rosi Islam trying to hit it over that mid-on region, because we are in the power play. There's no one there deep. All you've got is a deep covers, the only man outside the ring. And so with mid-on inside the ring, Rosi Islam, he has been targeting that area. He is strong on the leg side, but just hasn't seemed to connect for now. So 4 dots to start this game off. And RedZod, Ahmed Chaudhary here, a really good start for them. Oh, and this one's hit down the ground. And with that, Rosi Islam, he'll get off the mark, and Comets are up and running. Punching that one to mid-off, who's gone back. So more of a long off really, but Not at the edge of the boundary. Now coming back in for Faisal Khan here. Where you've got a deep third man for Faisal. The only man outside the ring. The final delivery of the first over coming up. And let's just hit down the ground. And with that, it'll be the end of the first over. Comets are 1 for no loss. It's a soft one here. Bowling well into Faisal Khan, who's yet to get off the mark. The soft one runs in here, and that one just a bit on a good length, trying to cut it away there. Faisal wanted the wide, won't get it, just inside the tram line. Soft one here. He's a really good bowler. Opening the attack with Ahmed Chaudhary. Final ball of the first coming up, and that's just going to be defended into that covers region. And with that, the end of 2 overs, and Comets are 3 for no loss. Chaudhary continuing into his second over. Oh, and that one chance of a run out there, and he's gone. Faisal Khan, he'll have to go. The first wicket of the innings, and unfortunately there you can see Faisal Khan walking back. So Comets here not off to a good start in this over, trying to come across for that single there, but he'll have to go back. So there you can see Faisal Khan walking back, and the RedZod side, they will celebrate. And there was Raza Saba there with the throw to the keeper, a flat throw, an excellent one, and catching Faisal Khan of the Comets short. That is a huge wicket up front. All that experience of Faisal Khan, and he'll have to go. But experience replacing experience out in the middle, and in walks Talal Zia. Joins Rosi Islam out in the middle. Both these players very experienced. This Comet side may not have gotten off to a good start, but if you want to back one team in this tournament to recover because of the experience they have, it's going to be the Comets. Oh, and this time that's a short one. It's hit him on the shoulder first up. I think that'll be a bit of an adrenaline rush, but that will really hurt. Chaudhary is a quick bowler. Starts off with the short one first up. Talal Zia here, first ball. Hit on the arm. That will hurt. He seems to be doing well now. Chaudhary runs in now, and that one's much fuller. Just defended there by Zia. And RedZod here continuing with this amazing start that they've gotten off to. 4 for 1 midway through the third over. A side like Comets, you put them in that position. That is just some brilliant bowling. Final ball of Chaudhary, second now. And it's a bit short. Just pulled away into the leg side. There's no one there in that final leg region. The keeper himself going after that, but comfortably coming back for that second run with that Talal Zia off the mark. The end of 3, and Comets are 6 for 1. Safwan now continuing his first over. Brilliant. Just conceded the 1 run. And deservedly getting a second here in the power play. As was expected, he's got a slip in place. Runs in. Oh, and that's full. Just driven. And that's racing away to the boundary, and it'll get there. So with that, the first boundary of the game, and it comes off the bat, Orosi Islam. Over pitches that one, does off one, and punished away to the boundary. That no one out in the deep there, and Rosi Islam finding that gap. That ball was always racing away to the boundary. So not a good start to this over for Safwan and RedZod. Oh, and that's much better. Pulls his length back a bit, goes on the pads. And Safwan, he is really a hit the deck bowler. And I think Faisal, the captain of the Comets, and myself, we talked about this in one of RedZod's earlier games. Safwan is really someone who's gonna hit a good length.
So far, so good bowling from Safwan. No audio.
Oh, and that's pulled away into the boundary. They still want to run for that. Stops just before. But sticking to just the 2. We'll wait for the umpire's call. Is that a boundary? No. Stop just before. Rosi Islam, though, pouncing onto that short ball.
Here comes Safwan to Talal. Oh, he pitched on the offside. That was a wide.
Oh, and that one signaled a wide there. So Safwan not getting his line right. And we've seen now Comets starting to recover a bit. 7 runs already off the first 3 deliveries of this one. A couple of good shots off the bat of Rosi Islam.
I really like his action, by the way.
As Safwan, yeah, gets back to the top of his mark.
He uses that for his advantage,
Runs in. Oh, that's a full toss. Hit away through the offside. Is a man out there deep point. He'll keep it to just a single. So not getting his length right here, Safwan. The first delivery over pitched, a low full toss driven through the covers. The next one was good. It was on a good length. But then after that he went short, got punished into the leg side. And then a wide. And then after that this delivery, which is a full toss just below the waist. So Safwan, his first over was really good. This one though, not as much, as he runs into Talal Zia. Goes a bit back of a length there. And Talal looking to swing that away onto the leg side. There are quite the gaps there. There's just 3 fielders on the leg side. All 3 inside the ring. There's a mid-on, a mid-wicket and a fine leg. Everyone else on the offside. They've opted for a 6-3 field favouring that offside. So definitely these 2 batsmen will be trying to look for those gaps on the leg side. And there you can see another fielder being added onto the leg side. You've got a short mid-wicket now and a deep mid-wicket. We'll see how much that changes Talal Zia's plans. Oh, an excellent yorker there from Safwan to finish off. And with that, the end of 4 overs, and Comets are 14 for 1.
For the run rate is only 3.7, so if you look at the projected score by going on to this run rate, they're going to be only 94 wickets, which is
So 14 for 1 the Comets after 4 overs. Talalzia 2 off 5. Rosi Islam 9 off 10. With the latter the one on strike. Oh, and that's just back of a good length. Guided away into the offside. Will just be that dot ball. Ahmed Chaudhary here getting 3 on the trot in the power play. His first 2 went for just 4. And so getting a third here. Ahmed Chaudhary up front with that new ball. He's been so dangerous. His best game in the tournament came against Videsi. Bowled 4 on the trot, picked up 5 wickets. That one though has gone over mid-on. And it'll clear the boundary as well. Both arms aloft for the umpire. And the first maximum of the innings comes off the bat. Oh, Rosi Islam. Saw that one fall in his arc on the pads there. And took a piece of that. Mid-on inside the ring now. Mid-on still inside the ring. That fielder coming back after retrieving the ball. But Rosi Islam, you cannot err in your line or length to him. He will hit his shots. We've seen that on a couple of occasions today. Chaudhary now coming back. What's he got? Oh, that's much better. That is much better. Just going away a bit from Rosi Islam. And there, pulled his length back a bit, went outside off that 4th, 5th stump line, which at this ground has really worked for bowlers. Not just in this tournament, but in tournaments in general, that outside off line, keep it in that 4th, 5th stump especially, just on a good length, maybe a bit back of a good length. That is the line and length which will work. Oh, and that's short, pulled away, into the leg side. And that'll run away to the boundary for 4. So with that, a boundary now for Rosi Islam. Chaudhary going a bit too short. That 4th stump line, and Rosi took that one from outside off and deposited it through that leg side boundary. So an excellent shot there from Rosi Islam. And now really increasing that run rate, which has been quite low for the Comets. Trying to make use of these field restrictions. 8 deliveries left now in the power play, with just the 2 fielders allowed outside the ring. And RedZod, they've still got a deep covers and a long off. Only 3 on the leg side as Chaudhary runs in. Oh, and that's an outside edge, pass slip, running away. The chase is on, but it'll run away to the boundary. When things are going your way, they are absolutely going your way. And Rosi Islam with that. Just at outside edge, flies past slip. It was aerial for a while, bounced well in front of slip, flies past him after that, and reaches that boundary, that 3rd man boundary there. So this over already gone for 14 now, with 1 delivery remaining, and Comets fighting their way back into this game. Rosi Islam on strike now. Chaudhary, what's he got? Final ball of his 3rd. Oh, and that's gone up in the air. There's a man coming around underneath in mid-on. And the catch is taken. So there's the wicket. Rosi Islam, after a couple of really good looking shots, has to go over 23. And they see the bowler always has the last laugh. And I can assure you, Ahmed Chaudhary, he will be laughing. The final ball of the 5th over. Rosi Islam saw it once again a bit full. Tried to go down the ground. Don't think he quite judged that right. The bounce on that delivery hit him a bit high on the bat. Went straight up in the air. And mid-on, taking a good catch. So with that, the 2nd wicket down now for the Comets. 28 for 2 after 5. And RedZod, maybe some runs hit against them now in the last couple of overs. But they have pounced back.
I'm talking loud because in California when I do commentary, I find out that the voice is too low. So that's why I'm talking too extra. So like that's what I learned from my first 6 years.
So the final over of the power play coming up, with the Wahab side striding out to the middle, and he'll be the man on strike. The left-handed batsman.
Done. It's 5 overs, 28 for 2. The strike rate is 5.6. So still, RedZod, I would say, doing better.
And it appears that Sabah Raza is being brought into the attack.
The new bowler is introduced here.
So the first bowling change of the evening, of the semi-finals. And it's Sabah Raza here brought in, coming in for his first delivery. Raza Sabah, he did so well in that game against Videsi. We talk about Ahmed Chaudhary, his 5 wickets. Videsi bowled out for 14. But Raza Sabah, he picked up 3 wickets in 7 balls in that game. And then after that, throughout the tournament, he's done well with the ball in hand. The first or second bowling change usually. Oh, and that one a wide there, signalled by the umpire. Trying to keep that wide Yorker line length he was going for. He got the length right, but not the line, just outside that tram line to the left-hander. Now it is that right-left combination with the final over of the power play here as Raza runs in. Oh, and another wide there. So not getting his line right here to start this over off is Raza Sabah. And it can be tough at times with that right-left combination. You have to keep changing your lines. Usually bowlers, they're comfortable with their line bowling to the right-hander, but to the left-hander, that's when it can be problematic a bit with that line. And that's when we see, I think, the maximum number of wides. As their side, he was wandering down the track looking for that single. Definitely not on offer though. They've got a man there in close. So 30 for 2 here with 5 deliveries left in the power play. Comets, an underwhelming start for them. Oh, and this is an excellent delivery. Squares him up there. That one, it pulls his length back and goes in that 4th stump line. Side looking to play at that initially, then just deciding to leave it alone last minute. Oh, Raza, that is a brilliant delivery. That's exactly where he'd want to bowl. Oh, and this time once again gets the length right. And that line just going a bit on off stump, just dabbed into the offside as they come through for that single. Or will it just be the dot? It will just be the dot. So once again, looking for that single, but they won't get it here, will the Comets. So this over, it's been really good. The 2 runs coming from it, followed, which were both wides, followed by those 3 dots. So Raza now, what's he got? Oh, and that's driven, goes full straight to the fielder, chance, no. And with that, the single taken, Wahab side, he'll get off the mark. And for a final over of the power play, this has been some amazing bowling from Raza. His first 2 may have been outside the tram line, but after that, coming back with 3 dots and then just that single, which was off a really good Yorker, squeezed away into the offside by Syed. And now the final 2 balls of the 6th over coming up. RedZod, they have done so well here up front in the power play.
Raza coming over the wicket now.
Lauzia now, what's he got? That's gone up in the air. There's mid-off inside the ring, but it doesn't matter. Sails over him, a couple of bounces into the boundary. And Talal Zia now picking up his first boundary of the game. Saw that one a bit short, outside off, mid-off inside the circle. And just kind of swatted that really straight over mid-off's head. And a couple of bounces into that long off boundary. So Talal Zia making use now. Maybe the last couple of deliveries, but still making use of those field restrictions. And now we can see mid-off pushed back to long off, and covers, deep covers brought in side the ring. So some cat and mouse being played by RedZod. Final over of the power play. Just guided through to 3rd man. And they'll come through for that single. So with that, Talal Zia retains strike. And at the end of the power play, the end of 6 overs, Comets are 36 for 2. Here we go now.
Oh, he pitched an offside and batsman
Assan Zafar brought into the attack, his first one. On a good length in the offside. Did seem to angle away a bit. As Talal Zia finds the gap through that covers region, picks up a couple of runs. First up, Assan Zafar, a very experienced player, brought into the attack. Ahmed Chaudhary though taken off after that last over being a bit expensive. And I think with that one he still got left, they'll save that for the death overs. Will RedZod. Oh, and this time nudged away into the leg side. And a really good single taken. So once again we can see Comets, they're running between the wickets, starting to go back up to that level which we're used to saying, getting those quick singles, turning dots into singles, turning singles into twos. And Comets, they're running between the wickets in this tournament. It has really been good, and now I think we can see that once again with the field a bit more spread out. And you've got a deep covers, a long off, long on, and a deep mid wicket. The four fielders outside the ring and inside the circle on the leg side. All you've got is a short mid wicket. Otherwise it's wide open, especially that area through square leg and fine leg. Definitely some scoring opportunities, but according to this field, Zafar looking to go outside off. This time though goes outside leg, just flicked away by Asad. Knows his field. Would have been a wide, but he knows he can get more than that as he comes back for a couple of runs. It was well down the leg side. Would have been a good delivery to a right-hander, but this being a right-left combination, the bowler has to adjust every single time, which is a bit tough. Right, you get your one line right, you get that length right, just want to keep bowling there, but then you've got a right-left combination which can really change those ideas up. As this one on that third, fourth stump line goes full, and Assan Zafar now he's angling it across Wahab Syed. So he's continuing right arm over the wicket, and with that angling it across there Wahab Syed, which does make it a bit tougher for him. This time on the pads, flicked away. Don't think it'll reach the boundary. And they'll get the throw back in. And that's really well run. I think they may have picked up 3 for that. That is excellent running between Wahab Syed and Talal Zia. Yep, they've picked up 3 just on the pads, flicked it away there at Syed. Full on the pads, there was no one there. The keeper himself chasing after that. And coming back for those 3 runs, really well run. Zia and Syed. Now we can see here one more delivery remaining in this Asim over. It's gone for 8 till now. As Zafar runs in. Oh, and that's just going to be on the pads, defended there into the offside, and a single to finish off. So with that, the Talal Zia will retain strike, and at the end of 7, Comets are 45 for 2. And now just a small drinks break being taken here at the 7 over mark, where the fielders, some of the senior players for RedZod have a discussion about where they want to go from here, with this partnership seeming to build nicely. Wahab Syed 6 off 7, Talal Zia 10 ball 11 he's on. And now the batsmen seem to be set.
Back. So 7 hours gone, 45 for 2.
So Raza Sabah now continuing here. His first over went for just 8. And now looking to break this partnership, which is starting to build. Both these players very sensible out in the middle. Played so much cricket. Both in-form players, so definitely a partnership. RedZod here will really want to break earlier rather than later. As that one's hit away into the leg side. And just sticking to that single, giving side strike. Making sure that that scoreboard keeps on ticking here. Do these two batsmen. And they've been in some tremendous form. Wahab side, especially this summer in DCL. He's done really well. Talal Zia, not only in these DCL tournaments, but also if we saw the WMCB finals. He did extremely well there. So Talal Zia now at the non-striker's end. But now that's Syed who just clips it away off the hips for a single. So Sabah now, not a bad start to this over. Just a couple of singles. And now we have a look at this field. You've got long on going very wide. And we've got a short mid-wicket as well. On the leg side. And this one opens up, hits it away. And a couple of bounces into the ropes for 4. So Talal Zia there, that just opened up a bit slower from Sabah. Had all the time in the world at Zia. And chooses to spot that fine leg area. There's no one there. And so gets that away to the boundary. So with that, the 50 also coming up for Comets. 51 for 2. Midway through the 8th over. And really starting to build this partnership. Talal Zia, Wahab Syed. They're taking singles and twos off the good deliveries. Even that 3 we saw a bit earlier, a couple of overs back. And then those bad deliveries, is that one a bit slower, a bit shorter as well, putting them away to the boundary. Oh, and that one just leaving it alone. Does Zia. Umpire remaining unmoved. Raza now coming back now against that 4. So this one's clipped into the leg side. And they'll comfortably come through for that single. Oh, overthrows. A bit of a misfield. Backing up, but no harm done. Deciding against that second run here are Syed and Zia. But you could see they were looking for it. We see that positive intent. With these two, they were looking for that extra run. They were looking for that second run, any chance they get. And that positive intent, even after a slow start, is really good to see. And now that start, it really has recovered. 6.64 the run rate's at. With one delivery coming up in the 8th over.
Here's come Raza.
Oh, and that's it straight to point. And it'll be a dot to finish off. So with that, the end of 8 overs in Comets are 52 for 2. And it appears it'll be Asim Zafar continuing now. Bowling to Talal Zia, who just pulls out. Has a look at that field.
Bowling his second over here.
So Zafar going back to the top of his run-up, has to run in it all again. Oh, and this time down the leg side. There, that one may just have slipped out of his hand. Went way too full with the length, but regardless of that, straying well down the leg side. That delivery from Asim Zafar. So a wide to start the over off. Now having a look at that field inside the ring on the offside. We've got a point in short covers. Leg side heavy field here. And that one's pulled away exactly in that leg side direction to deep mid wicket, who keeps it to a single. And now once again, we talked about how the bowler will have to change his lines, but the field as well, they'll also have to constantly keep changing. Oh, and that one's guided away into the offside, past that man at point. And just sticking to the single there, or the two batsmen. So Asim Zafar here, bowling on a good length, just outside off, allowing the batsman to dab it around. We've got a 4-5 field favouring the leg side, as Zafar just doesn't get his run up quite right there. And we have a look at that offside field. We are just talking about it a bit, but a backward point, short covers, deep covers, and a long on. So an interesting field there, a unique one on the offside, as that one's pulled away on the leg side. And there is a man out in the deep, so keeps it to a couple of runs. No, just a single actually. So we had a look at that offside field. Now having a look at the leg side. Well, for Wahab's side, the leg side does change. You've got the four fielders on the leg side now, and it's an offside heavy field. So Wahab's side, who has it a couple of good flick shots through the leg side. We've got an offside heavy field for him. And I think Said's the type of player you don't want to bowl on his pads. You want to keep it outside off for him, because anything on his pads, he will find a way to hit it away through one of the gaps. He is that good on the leg side. So that's why you want to try and go more on the offside to him. This time though, to Talal Zia, who hits it away to the man in the deep for that single. So the final ball of Zafar's second coming up now. It's gone for 5 singles in the wide, so 6 from it till now. And goes full on the last one, which is just driven down the ground to long off. And so it'll be a single to finish off. 7 coming from that Zafar over. And after 9, Comets are 59 for 2. Now new bowler being brought into the attack, so Raza Saba taken out, and you've got Mirza Hamayun brought in. That first delivery goes outside off, just dabbed away into the legs, into the offside for that single. So Mirza now he'll be bowling to that right-handed Talal Zia. They've got they've got two deep on the offside. And the two inside the ring on the offside as well. So keeping with that same feel again, Zia. As that one's going to be a wide on the offside, keeping it just outside that tram line, going away a bit as well from the right-handed Zia. And now an extra man being brought into the offside. So now you've got backward point going to point. And a new man there at backward point. So a 5-4 field we see now. And that's it, straight to that man there at point. It was just brought there, that last delivery. So they can see what the Comets are trying to do here. Can Nomi Amir, the captain of RedZod. And he brought himself onto that offside. Strengthen it even more. As this one was aerial for a while. It down the ground to long on. And settling for a single there. Mirza now. Oh, and that's an inside edge. Looking for that single. Zia definitely not on offer. And now coming right arm around the wicket is Mirza Humayun. So angling it into the left-handed side. And for that you've got that mid-wicket fielder. So you go full angling it in. A lot of those deliveries will just be nudged away to short mid-wicket. That one a bit wide of that man at short mid. So hit out to long on. Just for that single though. So this has really been a good over from Mirza. Just the 4 coming from it with 1 delivery remaining. And here Mirza once again changing ends. Going over the wicket. Now to that right-handed Talal Zia and make some changes in the field as well, especially there on the leg side. Moves a man closer towards long on, that mid-wicket fielder. But this one, it away into the offside, and they'll come through for that single with that Talal Zia. Once again, retain strike. And after 10 at the halfway mark here in the innings, Comets are 64 for 2.
आ जाए आप भी
Assan Zafar now continuing this one, pulled away into the leg side and one bounce over the ropes. So a boundary to start this Assan Zafar over off, and not a good start here for RedZod. Talal Zia seeing that one a bit short and just swiveled away, pulled that one into the leg side. No one there in that fine leg region. There's a very fine leg, but no one there if you beat that fielder, and so that shot was always on. And picking up a boundary for it this time along is Talal Zia. Moves his score up to 26 off 21, the top scorer in this innings till now. Starting this over off with the boundary, so pressure on Zafar now.
Thank you, Silverwhite, for joining us tonight.
Semi-final game. Comets at 68 for 2 halfway. Then almost
Oh, and that's pulled away once again. This time there is a man out in the deep though. So keeps it to just a single. And with that, the left-handed side comes on to strike.
I would say it was not that great. I would say the RedZod. The Comets have to play a little better here, improve their run rate.
So continuing to come over the wicket now.
Have wickets in hand.
Angling it across side, this time on the pads, just flicks it away. No one there inside the ring. But deep square leg will eventually race in and keep that to the single.
7 over. The first 10 overs.
Now we can see Talalzia back on strike, and they've got 3 men out on the leg side. Deep square leg, deep mid wicket, and a long on for him. As that one's nudged away. Will just be that single once again, so making sure the scoreboard keeps on ticking. They've got that boundary off the first ball. Now just steer the ball around, get those singles and twos, and all of a sudden you're looking at a 9-10 run over. And that's the thing, if you plan it out right, if you do your math right there, then all you need is just that one boundary and over. And they've got that this time around.
You do happen to be in the open area to stop by.
As that one will be signalled a wide outside the legs, outside the off stump. So now with that 8 runs already, with 2 balls remaining, and not much risk taken. That time though, a risky shot at top edge. And no one there though inside the ring, so side survives for the time being. And comes back for a couple of runs as well. Was looking to just sweep that away to the man out in the deep, but ends up getting that top edge. Luckily, falls in no man's land. And so one more delivery remaining now in this over. As Assan races in. Oh, that's gone up in the air. Won't reach all the way out to the fielders in the deep. So side not getting that off the middle. Got a bit uppish on the bat. Not getting that, not judging that bounce, right to say. And with that picks up a couple of runs. The end of Asim Zafar's third. And after 11, Comets are 76 for 2. And now the captain brings himself on, and Nomi Amer brought into the attack.
The pace off there. I mean, Nomi is a medium bowler, so I think that's what the plan is. He's trying to squeeze in some overs here. Nomi's a tough ball. Let's see.
Brought into the attack.
Pitching the offside.
Oh, and this time, signal a wide first up. Going a bit too short, a bit too wide. And leaving that one alone. The temptation on that is the Lalzia. And gets that extra run, the extra ball as well. This one Worked away into the leg side. And they want the second. They're going to get it quite comfortably in the end. That's good running. Not the best to work in the field, just jogging to that delivery. And so picking up a couple of runs there are the batsmen. Oh, and this time that's it down the ground. Will just be stopped by Nomi though, so an excellent stop from him, quickly getting down. Oh, looking to sweep that away uphill, and the finger's gone up. There's the wicket. The captain himself brings himself into the attack, and he has struck in just his first over. With that, the partnership broken, and it's the big wicket at Talal Zia which falls. The partnership, this was building up to be a 51-run partnership, broken here by Nomi. Goes on the pads, a bit fuller, traps him in front. And with that, the wicket falling. And so now replacing Talal Zia, you've got Assan Rashad striding out to the middle. Rashad here, definitely very experienced player. Has captained this Comet side on occasions. A very senior player in the team. Joins Wahab's side out in the middle. Comets, they do bat very deep. And Rashad here is someone who's opened the batting on occasion. Sometimes he bats in the middle order towards the lower order, as he's doing today. Coming in 3 down at number 5. And in just the Comets' last game, which took place against Videsi, Comets made 202 for 3 in their 20 overs. Assan Rashad, 142 not out from just 69 balls. 11 fours and 10 massive maximums. Here we go. On strike now. Just guides his first one away for a single. But I tell you what, if Assan here stays till the end, then we will have some fireworks, some big fireworks, because he is a big hitter of the ball. You can see him shadowing a few shots he wants to play there. And he will definitely look to play them if he gets set. But for now, it's Wahab's side on strike. Nomi just making a couple of changes to his field. Around the third man area. 2 deliveries remaining in his first. And that's just guided away to third man. Picks up the single for that side. And now brings Assan back on strike to face the final delivery of this Nomi over. Final ball of Nomi's first coming up, which is just hit away into the offside to that covers region, and a single to finish off with that. The end of 12 overs, an excellent over that for RedZod. Just the 6 runs coming from it and that big wicket at Talal Zia. So after 12, Comets are 82 for 3. Mirza Hamayoun here brought into the attack, replacing Asim. His first over went for 5. Now bowling into Assan Rashad. Oh, and this time short, pulled away. There's a man out in the deep. And it's gonna end up going over him. So picking up a maximum for that is Assan Rashad. Saw that one a bit short to start off from Mirza. And pulls it away over that deep mid-wicket boundary. There is a man there. But backs himself to Assan. And gets the result for it. Mirza, what's he got now? Goes much fuller. A bit of an outside edge. Let's run down to third man. Picks up a single for it. And that'll get Wahab Syed onto strike. So Mirza now bowling into Syed. Left-handed side, so changes his angle. Right arm around the wicket. That one tight there on the stumps. Just on a good length. Coming back into Syed with the angle as well. Now you can see Point coming in a couple of steps from the edge of the circle. And that one's driven down the ground. Trying some footwork there. Mirza not able to stop it. But long off certainly will. And so just a single taken. Now Comets here having a look. 90 for 3. Midway through. At 13th, 14th over mark. 12.4 overs. 90 for 3. We'll get back to that after this ball, which will just be a dot. Defended there by Assan, trying to just flies past the outside edge though. So 90 for 3 and 12.5. They've certainly recovered, have Comets. 28 for 2 that start was after 5 overs. And after that, that big partnership between Talalzi and Wahab Syed, and now Syed and Assan Rashad. So the recovery is certainly on, but they've also set up a pretty good platform here for the finish. These two got some time to settle in. Syed, he's already looking settled. But Assan now, even though he has hit a couple of good shots, he still does have some time, as that's going to be the end of the 13th over. And Comets are 90 for 3. Nomi here continuing. Nomi Ahmed, the captain of the side. 1 for 6 his first over. Picked up that prized wicket at the Lal Zia. We're now continuing Gives himself a second, the 14th over of the game. That one's pulled away into the leg side. And racing away, picks up a boundary off the first delivery. Does Wahab side. A bit short on the pads. And with no one there in the deep, just opens up and hits it through the leg side quite comfortably there. So Syed picking up a boundary. A good start to the over for Comets. RedZod on the other end, Nomi on the other end. Some pressure on him first up. He's got to come back from that boundary. We'll see what he's got now to side. Oh, unorthodox. And he scooped that one over. And it'll be another boundary. So back-to-back boundaries there on the leg side for Syed. And the umpire hasn't signalled that one as of yet. And yeah, there's the signal. So a boundary now for Syed. Two of them, in fact. This time stepping well across the offside. A bit of premeditation there from him. And ends up just scooping it over a vacant fine leg region. That shot always on. There is a deep square leg, but that fine leg region wide open. And so Syed trying something unorthodox this time. Trying to go through the offside. A bit short there from Nomi. On a good length. And just slides underneath the bat of Syed. Oh, tries the scoop again. And he's connected once again. And he picks up a boundary once again. A carbon copy of the previous shot. And with that, this over has already gone for 12 off the first 4 deliveries. Turning out to be a big one. Courtesy Wahab Syed, who is looking really good now. Moves up to 31 off 25. Looking to have some fun out in the middle. Once again stepping outside that off stump. And now RedZod, they've got a man there at deep fine leg. So deep square leg, move to deep fine leg, and we'll see how much that changes Syed's plans. I wouldn't be surprised if he hits it through that square leg region now. Oh, and he's hit that one up in the air through that square leg region, as said. And the keeper himself chasing after that, but the batsman comfortably picking up a couple of runs. So 14 runs now coming off this over with 1 delivery remaining. Nomi, what's he got? The final ball of his over coming up. Once again goes for that good length on the pads. Just hooked away into the leg side. A single taken with that side, the retaining strike. And the end of a big over. 15 coming from it. And after 14, Comets are 105 for 3. Mirza Humayun here continuing his first 2, went for 13. Into Wahab side, who's really looking to take that run rate up a notch. Oh, and that's cut away past point. And they'll come through for that second run quite comfortably. Going outside off that 5th stump line from Mirza. And just cut away. Placed it really well, just to the left of point. And gets a boundary for it, or gets 2 runs for it. Oh, and this time guided through, straight to fine leg chance. Oh, he's got to direct it. Umpire unmoved though. Rashad, he is quick between the wickets. And now we see him on strike after quite some time. The entirety of the last over faced by Syed. First 2 deliveries of this one as well. And Rashad, he's been happily watching from the other end. the shots of Wahab side, but now looking to join that himself. Comes on to strike. So to Rashad, we'll see where Mirza goes. Right arm over the wicket to him. And that's carved away to point. Chance. No. Coming through comfortably for that single in the end. Very quick running between these two. May have hit it straight to the fielder, but they will race across. So with that side now coming on to strike. But coming back to that point on running between the wickets. Comets overall, they're a well gelled team. They've played a lot of cricket together. And with that, the batsmen, they're running between the wickets. The more you play with the batsmen, the more it just becomes muscle memory to say in your brain, yes, we want a single for that, even if it went straight to the fielder. You tend to trust the other player even more. And with that, the running between the wickets certainly does improve as they come through for another single on that delivery. So 5 runs coming from the first 4 of this over. Brings Assan back on to strike that single off the bat of Syed. And we'll see what Mirza has in store for him. Oh, that's an appeal. Hit on the pads. No. No doubt, says the umpire. Height was a question. And so it'll just be that dot ball. So 1 delivery remains now on Mirza's third. It's been a really good one. Just the 5 it's gone for. Comets 110 for 3. That run rate starting to rise for them. As Assan is on strike to face the final ball of Mirza's third, and that's an excellent one. Between bat and bad, it's hands on head for the bowler, and what a way to finish off the 15th. After 15, Comets 110 for 3. The final 5 overs coming up here, and we'll see where Comets can get to. Soft one now brought back into the attack. His first 2 up front in the power play went for just the 9. Yet to pick up a wicket though, as he comes into Wahab Syed. And starts off with a short one there, a bouncer to start his over off. A spell off even to say. And signalled wide by the umpire over the head. Oh, that's an outside edge, running away past third man and reaches the boundary for 4. So a bit lucky there, you could say, Syed, but it really has been his day. The unorthodox shots have come off. The orthodox shots have been drilled through the field to the boundary. And this time there, they say, fortune favors the brave. And Syed's having a slash at that one. Gets that outside edge. And luckily for him, picks up a boundary. And with that, third man moves back to the boundary. So the cat and mouse continuing here from RedZod. And this time a bit of an inside edge. Under edge really. Oh, trying that unorthodox shot. Is that an edge to the keeper? Oh, that's a huge appeal from the team. Still going. The RedZod side. Not to be though. Assan trying to step across, trying what he saw Wahab side did do a few overs back. Not getting it right though there. Once again, also looking at that field, saw fine like a vacant region. So tried sides unorthodox shots don't work for him though. Oh, this time steps down the track, doesn't get that, and it'll be byes as the keeper just misses it. Not able to put a full stop to it, but third man at the boundary certainly will. Running to his left, that fine leg region where the ball ended. That single up to 117 for 3 with 2 deliveries remaining in this Safwan over. Safwan's third. As he comes into Wahab side. Oh, and that's on the leg side, flicked away. And fine leg keeps it to the single. And with that side up to 44 now. So 1 hit away from a milestone. But for now, it'll be Assan on strike.
So the projected score is 150 here. I mean, it went from 130 to 138 and now it's coming to 150 here. So Comets is, getting really things going here. So Safan is going to be balling to Assan. Here comes Safan.
Oh, and that's short. Just pulled away the mid-on chance. No, and there is back up there. Quickly racing through for that single is Assan. And with that, at the end of the over, Assan Rashad retains strike. And after 16, Comets are 119 for 3.
So it's going to be 16 over, 119 for 3.
So the final 4 overs coming up here. The death overs where I think Comets will definitely try and take a charge. 10 and over from here gets them to that 160 mark. So 10 and over gets them to 160. .150 on the other hand is 8.5 and over away, and I think they'll definitely be targeting that 160, 170 mark. Even at the toss, Faisal Khan, the captain of the side, said they wanted to get to 180, which is tough here as that one's gone up in the air. Chance, and the catch is taken. There's the wicket. It's the hard-hitting Assan Rashad who has to go for just 11, and that is a massive wicket. 142 not out in the last game, and he walks back for 11 in this one. RedZod, they will be ecstatic. Oh, that is a massive wicket here on the verge of the death overs. Just at the start of it, and they've picked up the big man Assan. Gone. And with that, Mohammad Barrows now striding out to the middle, replacing him. Who can definitely hit the ball a long way, but nonetheless a lot will depend on the hard-hitting abilities of Wahab Syed and how many more he can pile on. 44 of 33 is on. We've seen a couple of boundaries off his bat as well. And so how many more Comets can get to? Yeah, that will definitely be a big blow. RedZod at the beginning of the inning said they'd back themselves to chase down anything below 160 with the batting order they have. And we have a look. 160, 10 and over away, more than that really. So I think RedZod, they'd really back themselves, especially with the fall of Rashad and a new batsman coming out to the middle. They'd really back themselves to restrict this Comet side under that 160 score. 150 ideally, which is still possible, you'd think, 8 and over. But surely it'd back this Comet side to get to that 150 mark with the batting they have, with the way Wahab side's been playing. As Mirza comes out, that one a huge wide outside off. And it is Syed on strike, because the two batsmen did cross when that ball was hit straight up in the air by Assan. Oh, and that's gone up in the air. A couple of bounces to Nomi at third man. With that, taking the single, getting the new man. Mohammad Barrows on to strike, who takes guard.
Let's see how he plays. I mean, it's going to be his first ball.
Barrows now doesn't have too much time to settle in. And the first one hits it to covers. Chance. No, they'll get through. Overthrows as that one's running away. There's no one there and it reaches the boundary for 4. So what was just a very quick single taken by the batsman has turned into 5 runs, and Comets, they will take that with both hands. Trying for that directed at the striker's end, and with no one backing up, that ball racing away to the boundary. Overthrows, 4 overthrows, and with that 5 runs from that delivery. Mirza, the bowler, he certainly won't be happy with that. And now the left-handed side on strike, leg sides going back. You've got a deep mid-wicket, a deep fine leg, and a long on. And then a man at mid-wicket, who's quite wide, really between mid-wicket and mid-on. Sides on strike, that one a wide, well outside off. So trying to keep it outside of Syed's hitting arc here is Mirza, making sure he doesn't go on the pads, because anything on the pads, Syed is really strong on that. As this one's on the pads, just flicked away to deep fine leg. Who gets the throw and keeps it to just a single. Some good fielding there out in the deep. Asim Zafar, I think that is the fielder. And now that brings Barrows back onto strike, who's picked up 5 off his first delivery thanks to the overthrow. And a swing and a miss off the next. Trying to drive that through that covers region. Only the long off outside the ring for him, and the deep third man. But otherwise 3 players inside the ring. 2 deliveries remaining in this Mirza over. Oh, and another swing and a miss there. Barrows not able to connect, not really getting in line with the ball either. Haven't seen too much foot movement from him. So not getting in line, just looking to swing at it. Really not connecting. It can be tough for a batsman coming in first up at this DCL ground with a variable bounce on this pitch, and we'll talk about that a bit more next over. As that one's just an outside edge, run down the third man. As they'll come through for a single, and that's all they're gonna get. So Barrows with that retaining strike, the end of 17, and Comets are 130 for 4. Safwan now continuing his first 3, went for just 17. Still looking for that maiden wicket of the semi-finals. As that'll just be a swing and a miss from Barrows, outside off. Now we were talking about that variable bounce bit, just touched on that in the last over. Expanding a bit more on that. This here is a new pitch which has been put in. Just last year actually, some new renovations in this DCL field. And when you've got that new pitch, it hasn't completely sunk in to say. Oh, and that one's gone up in the air. Once again, man coming around underneath it, the bowler. Oh, put down. Put down, running after that. But isn't able to get there in time. And so Barrows survives. And picks up a couple of runs for that as well. He's been a bit lucky. With the overthrow, now that one just falling short of the bowler.
So far, 2 balls bowled by Assan.
Oh, and this one straying down the leg side.
That was a wide. And the run taken by the batsman.
And he'll come through for that single as well. And so more importantly than getting the 2, it gets Wahab side on strike, who's really been the man. Hit those big shots, the top scorer. 46 off 35, he's on 4 away from a half century. And the field on the leg side goes back. They've got a mid-on and a long-on for him, along with a deep mid-wicket and a deep fine leg. That's how strong he is on the leg side, is Wahab side. Oh, and that one on the pads, keeps it tight, and just guided away through the offside. And they'll pick up that single. Safwan now 3 remaining in this over. And that one's gone down the ground. Mid-on's there, and the catch is taken. Oh, put down. Oh, put down there. Barrows survives once again. Should have been taken there. The edge of the ring went straight to him, that mid-off fielder. But Barrows, he survives. And I think part of that might be that it is starting to get colder here as we move into the fall. This is an evening game. I'll get back to that after this ball. As he hits it down the ground. This time long off. Oh, put down. Pops out. 2 and 2 balls, 3 in the over. And Barrows is riding his luck here. I wouldn't be surprised if he books a flight after this straight to Las Vegas. Mohammad Barrows dropped 3 times in 1 over. How often do you see that? The final ball for Safwan in the semi-finals. Oh, and that's pulled away into the leg side. And there is a deep mid-wicket, gets the ball on the bounce. Chance. No. Staying for that single there. Side, he wanted strike. But once again, it's Barrows who will remain on strike. Takes a single off the last ball, retains strike. And at the end of 18, Comets are 140 for 4. So 140 for 4 with 2 overs remaining. RedZod were looking to restrict them below 160, which is 20 runs away. Comets were looking to go 180 plus, which is 40 runs away. And I think the most likely option to say that'll happen here is more so that 170 score, which is going to be right in the middle. 30 runs, 2 overs with the way these two are playing, very much possible. Oh, and that one down the leg side beats the keeper. There's a deep fine leg. Gets to it, but coming back for a couple of runs. Now going back to those dropped catches, we're talking the weather's getting a bit colder. It is an evening game as we move into the fall. And so with that, their hands, they will be hard. It'll be harder to take that ball. That ball comes to you quickly. It will sting a bit. And I think that might be a factor of why these catches are being dropped from RedZod at the moment. As they come back once again for another couple of runs, some good running. Raza Sabaya brought into the attack. His first 2 went for 15. And a couple of 2s to start his 3rd over off. And his final as well, the penultimate of the innings. An important over here handed to Raza Sabah. Oh, and he's picked that one up and deposits it into the Comets camp, right where his teammates are. And he'll pick up a boundary for that. Brown's just in front of the boundary. And so 4 runs there off the bat of Mohammad Barrows. 8 runs already coming from the first 3 deliveries of this over. That one going a bit short does Raza. And kind of just hooked away really into that leg side, through that square leg boundary. Raza, what's he got now? This time on the offside, and it's been cut away. Racing away to the boundary. Don't think it'll get there. As the fielder wins the chase, and I think they'll come back for 3 on that one. That is amazing running. Amazing running to get back for 3 on that. And they've already picked up 11 runs from this over, with 2 deliveries still remaining. The 150 coming up for the side as well with that. And Wahab Syed getting onto strike, who's faced very little strike since the time Barrows has been out in the middle. He's on 47 is Syed of 36 deliveries.
It feels like about 55 degrees. Yeah, it's about 55 degrees, so it is chilly, and we're sitting. We have our country box outside today.
And that's gone up in the air over the offside. There is a deep covers though, who keeps it to just a single. Now the final ball of this Raza Sabah over coming up. Can he finish it off well? We'll have a look. Sabah, the final ball of his spell today. Oh, and that's hit him on the pads, I believe. We'll wait for the umpire's confirmation on that. Or was it off the edge? No, it is leg bars. They'll pick up a single for that. And with that, Barrows, he'll retain strike. And after a 13 run over, Comets are 153 for 4 with 6 deliveries remaining.
Projected score is 162.
Ahmed Chaudhary now brought back for the last over. Bowled 3 in the power play. 1 for 18 he picked up. Now to Barrows. Oh, and that's cut away. Through the offside. Running away to the boundary. And it'll get there. So short, wide. And it has been punished. So a boundary start. The final over off the batter Mohammad Barrows, who's playing quite the cameo. 28 off 14 he's on to now. Ahmed Chaudhary, not a good start to the final over for him or RedZod. And we'll see what he has now. Bowling into Barrows. Oh, and that's gone up in the air. There's a man in the deep. 2 fielders actually. And this time the catch taken. So Barrows, 3 times lucky today, but the 4th time he has to go. Trying to clear the boundary there on the leg side in the final over. But hits it out to that man at cow corner, who runs in, takes a good catch. And with that, Barrows, he'll have to walk back. From the Comets' perspective though, they may have lost Barrows, but it will be Wahab Syed on strike, as the 2 batsmen crossed with that ball up in the air. So there you can see Syed at the striker's end. And joining Wahab Syed is his brother Shoaib Syed. The spin twins for the Comets. And we'll see them in action with the ball. But for now, it's with the bat. 4 deliveries remaining. It's Wahab Syed on strike at the moment. Shoaib just warming up there a bit at the non-striker's end. Looking for those big lofted shots. Shadowing them at least. But for now, it's Wahab Syed, the man on strike on 48 as Chaudhary runs in. And that's gone up in the air. On the bounce to the fielder. And he'll just stick to the signal. So now on to 49 is Wahab Syed. But it'll be Shoaib on strike for now. And a couple of changes being made in the field here by Nomi. They've moved the fielders in a bit, the 3rd man and fine leg fielders. Looking to restrict that single. But that one's hit down the ground. And just a mid off though, so they'll stick to the single, which gets Wahab Syed on strike, who's on 49. And now for the left-hander, the field just spreading a bit. 2 deliveries remaining in the innings. Chaudhary running in now to Wahab Syed. And that's gone up in the air. There's a fielder there. And he's taken the catch. What a catch there taken at the edge of the 30-yard circle. And Wahab Syed has to walk back for 49. An unfortunate end to him. But as far as the RedZod side are concerned, they will celebrate. Running to his left, the low catch taken that. And a very good one. So with that, the 5th wicket falling for the Comets. Wahab Syed has to go with 1 delivery remaining in the innings. Syed goes for 49 off 38. He's played an excellent hand here. Making sure that Comets do recover from that position of 28 for 2 in the first 5 overs. And Comets now.
159.
And now it'll be Shoaib side on strike as the two batsmen did cross with that ball up in the air. As Tariq Qureshi comes out to the middle, he'll be at the non-striker's end. But for now, yeah, side on strike to face the final delivery of the innings. Ahmed Chaudhary running in here. Oh, and that's gone up in the air. Keeper coming around underneath it. Oh, put down. Put down. Oh, and a run out there to finish off. Yes, it is. Trying to come back with a second run, but they'll get through for that single with the man with the gloves. Puts the catch down. And so a single there on the last ball. Some drama. Even though there will be a run out in the end, trying to look for that second. But in the end, Comets end on 160 for 7 in their 20 overs. So RedZod will need 161 to win in the semi-finals and advance in to the finals of the DCL FAIRFAX T20 Cup. 160 is all that separates RedZod from a place in the finals. Comets here undefeated till now, and they will not go down without a fight. As their batsmen walk back, they reconfigure, and we will as well. So join us in just a couple of minutes with the second innings of the first semi-final coming up. Comets and RedZod. This game is turning out to be a cracker of one. 161 needed in 120 deliveries for RedZod, and that will not be a chase to miss. So join us for some exciting cricket coming your way in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone, to the second half, the chase of the first semi-finals between the Comets and RedZod. Comets batting first, made 160 for 7 in their 20 overs, and so RedZod requiring 161 to win. And both their openers out in the middle, Sardar and Mohammed. Faraz, Sardar Ahmed, Mohammed Faraz, two experienced players up top, and opening the bowling Talal Zia. The first ball, aerial for a while as it's worked away into the leg side. And the batsman picking up a single for that. With that, they're up and running. Faraz off the mark, so is RedZod. A slip in place here for Talal Zia. Oh, and this one straying down the leg side past the diving keeper and runs away to the boundary. This is the first 4 of the innings, and it's gonna come in the form of wides. 5 wides there. Not a good start for Comets. As that one straying down leg, Zia not getting his line right by a huge margin, and the diving wicket keeper not able to get there either. Oh, and there, swing and a miss. Goes on a good length at 5th stump line, and not able to swing away at it is Sardar Ahmed. Looking to really pull that away into the leg side. It was well outside off though, and so won't connect on it. Yet to get off the mark. Oh, and this time trying to cut at it a bit late on that. Was waiting for quite the while. Pulls his length back a bit more to Zia, and past that cut of Ahmed. That's something we've seen, the variable bounce here. It can make it tough for new batsmen. Some delivery staying low, a bit bouncing too much. This one hits him on the pads. Well down leg that one was going, but will just be the dot ball. So since this is a new pitch installed here in Oakton, Virginia, this DCL field just last year, since it is a new pitch, it does mean that it's hasn't completely been worn out to say, so that bounce is still a bit variable, as we call it. And Faisal Khan was speaking about that in the captain interviews before the semi-finals, about that variable bounce here. There's another dot delivery bowled by Talal Zia. Started off with a single in those 5 wides, but after that he's come back really well with 4 dots. And 1 delivery now remains in this first over. 6 for no loss, RedZod are at. Oh, and this time it will just be that dot to finish off. And so with that, the end of the first over, RedZod 6 for no loss. And that one's it down the ground. Will just be that single. Abdul Basit brought into the attack. From the other end, that bowling that other new ball bowler. And a single to start off for Faraz, who's scored a couple of runs at a runner ball. And that gets Sardar on strike, yet to get off the mark after facing 5 deliveries. Leaves that one alone. keeping it outside off once again on that good length. And the Comets, this being their home ground, they're very experienced with their bowlers, knowing exactly where they want to bowl. And that is definitely a good line and length you want to keep at. As Basit runs in. Oh, and that one's straying down the leg side. Signaled a wide by the umpire. But you can see not going full here. The line may be a bit different here. Some going down leg, some staying outside off, even though you want to try and keep it outside off. But the line has changed a bit, but that length, it has been that good length. We saw it from Talal Zia in the last over, seeing it from Abdul Basit now. Because that is the length which works at this ground. That one's a bit of an under edge. Guided through the third man. Assan, the man there. Backward point really more of a deep third man and a deep point. The two men outside the ring. And there's two fielders inside the ring on the leg side. Oh, and that one's gone up in the air. And the catch is taken. So there's the wicket, the first one falling. Abdul Basit has struck, and Sardar Ahmed, who wasn't really looking too comfortable out there, will have to go. Saw him trying to go for a couple of shots. This time finally connects on one, but ends up hitting it straight up in the air, mid-on, taking that catch. And so the first wicket falling here for RedZod. They've lost one early, 8 for 1 now, midway through the second. Abdul Basit deciding to change his length, going a bit fuller, enticing Sardar Ahmed, who really hadn't been looking good off those good length deliveries, enticing him to go for his shots, which is exactly what Ahmed did, but ends up holding out to that man at mid-on, who takes a good catch. And that one went quite a while up in the air. Shoaib side, that fielder, who took the catch. And so with that, the first wicket falling, RedZod, they didn't want to lose a wicket early. In this tournament, we see RedZod, when they get off to a good start, they will do well, they will get to that big score, but lose a couple of wickets early, and they haven't always been able to recover as much, despite the fact they do bat deep. So Abdul Basit runs in. Oh, and that one just left outside off alone. There, that Yorker there, 4th, 5th stump line, keeping it very full there, Abdul Basit. Steps down the track, that's gone up in the air, there's a man in the deep. But it doesn't matter, that runs away, one bounce into the ropes. And so a boundary there to finish the over off. And with that, RedZod, the end of 2 overs, 12 for 1. So Syed Ahmed, the new batsman, out in the middle. And he will be on strike now, facing his first delivery as Talal Zia runs in. Oh, that one straying down the leg side. So another wide. We see Comets, usually they're good with their lines. Today, not as much. Which is interesting to see here.
So I have my friend Asman who joined us on the commentary box. So what do you think, Asman? I mean, so far, Comets They did 160. I mean, they started really slow, but at the end they picked up because they had.
Now Zia runs in. This time, nudged away into the leg side, and he'll come through for a single. Gets off the mark to Syed Ahmed. Win the first game of this tournament for RedZod when they were playing the 3B Soga Hurricanes. Top scored there 80 not out from 51 deliveries, 6 boundaries, 4 maximums. His highest score in the tournament.
Looks like it's an interesting target.
And
Not easy at all.
I'm sure he'd really like to replicate something similar here in the big semi-finals. That one an outside edge
I feel like
to Rashad there,
batting team as well. So
who's a couple of steps inside the ring.
this start is fine, but in a chasing 160, I think they need to change their gears and try to maximize in power plays.
Oh, and that's gone up in the air. Mid-on coming around. Oh, he's unable to get there. That was a really good attempt. That was an excellent attempt there. Running in, dived full strength, full stretch forward, but just not able to reach that delivery.
Well, it's too early to say.
And so with that, Mohammad Faraz, he survives for the time being. A bit lucky on that. Hit him high on the bat. This one nudged away into the leg side. As they come through for that single, Syed Ahmed
Used to be smaller bond.
moves up to 2 off 2 now.
It is 70 meter or maybe more than 70 meters. So
And that one signaled a leg by the umpire. So just the 1 off 2 then.
let's see how it's going to progress.
That one coming off the pad.
Looks like it's going to be interesting.
of Ahmed. Oh, trying that unorthodox shot. We saw Wahab's side get quite the success off of it.
So now the rules have changed.
Who's standing at slip now.
Regardless of where the ball they change, it's not going to be called wide anymore. So that was the reason that
One delivery remaining in this Talalzia over. Oh, and that one. Aerial for a while, bounces just in front of the bowler. And with that, the end of 3. RedZod 16 for 1, requiring another 145 to win from the remaining 17 overs. That one's hit away into the offside. Will just be the dot ball though. Abdul Basidia continuing his first, 1 for 6.
so it's better to rotate the strike and maximize these power plays because this is going to be a pressure. Whoever's going to come next.
As Abdul Basit runs in now. Oh, and that one just a dot ball. They're keeping it outside off. Kept it a bit full, but Syed Ahmed, he came a couple of steps down the track, so turned what was kind of a full delivery, a good delivery nonetheless, but a full delivery into a Yorker. Yorked himself there, did Ahmed.
Again, this morning
But outside off, tried to squeeze it past after that, but didn't get bat on it. Abdul Basit now. And once again advancing down is Syed Ahmed, but not connecting. Pulls his length back quite a bit, does Abdul Basit. Goes for that short delivery. Saw the fact that Syed Ahmed was coming down the track.
they will go for 200.
Just a couple of steps, not a full charge, but just moving down a couple of steps.
They have to change their gears and try to maximize these overs. I mean, this is 3.5 overs so far, and
Oh, and this one flicked away
just 16.
to square leg. And just a single taken. Abdul Basit, this has been a really tidy over from him. Just a 1 run with 2 deliveries remaining in it.
So I think that's what, from the Comets point of view, that's what they're doing. They're keeping it tight, making it harder for the batsmen. So here's some
Oh, and now
side.
This one just keeping it outside off. Signaled wide by the umpire. So trying to just keep it outside of his hitting arc. Faraz, because Faraz, he's been in some good form in this tournament. Arguably the best form for any of the RedZod batsmen. As Abdul Basit runs in. And that one's just played into the onside in front of mid wicket for the single. And we have a look at some of Faraz's scores against Videsi. 65 from just 42 deliveries. And then against the Centurions, 46 from 32. But now it's Saad Ahmed on strike. That's gone up in the air. And straight to the man. There's the wicket, the second one falling, and it's Saad Ahmed who has to go. Abdul Basit picks up yet another, his second now. And RedZod, they lose to Comets. They are ecstatic. A big wicket they've picked up here. Saad Ahmed walking back early. And RedZod 19 for 2 in just the first 4 they've been reduced to. And that target of 161 seems a long way away now. That finals seems a long way away. They'll need quite the rebuilding. As Manavjot Sidhu strides out to the middle, joining Mohammad Faraz. These two, this partnership, it'll be so important. And now the first bowling change of the second innings. Wahab Syed introduced into the attack. So time for some spin now. Wahab Syed. Quite an experienced player. He's got a slip in place. Assan Rashad. The man there. Oh, that's hit into the offside. Chance. No. So Wahab Syed, a left arm spinner here, angling it into the right-handed Faraz. And that one just hit away into the offside in front of short covers. A couple of dots to start the over off. Some good bowling to start from Syed. On this time in on the pads, uphill, and the finger's gone up. There's the wicket now. Wahab Syed strikes this time. And RedZod, 3 down now. Comets all over this RedZod side. In the power play, they've picked up 3. And this time it's that big wicket. Mohammad Faraz having to go. The big fish in the side. Arguably the most informed batsman to say for RedZod. And he walks back early now in just the 5th over. Oh, 160. It's looking a big chase from here, a long while away. Nomi Amir, the new batsman who's walking out to the middle. Their captain told me at the toss there that they wanted to restrict Comets under 160. Anything under 160 and then back themselves to chase it down. They restricted them to exactly 160. But chasing that down now. Oh, they will have to put on quite the partnership. Manavjot Sidhu and Nomi Amir. With that required rate already up to 9, almost 9.2 now. As Nomi Amer joins Manavjot Sidhu. RedZod with the batting depth they have, it's definitely possible. Very much possible, but it will be very tough.
Situation, I think it's going to be tougher. He has to stay on the wickets. So basically, you have to lead from the front. I mean, the skipper is here. So,
Both these batsmen haven't faced a single delivery. Now this battle will be very interesting, especially in the power play. We're in the power play with the field restrictions. Nomi Amer, his side have lost a couple of wickets early, but 160 isn't the smallest of targets. They still need to get some quick runs. You can't leave too much for the back end. Well, you do need to build a partnership. So in the power play, does he go after the spinner? Back to that after this delivery as he tries to cut that away. It doesn't connect. But Nomi Amer is very strong against spinners. And so the spin of Wahab's side, all that experience of Wahab's side, who's done well with the bat today and with both bat and ball throughout this tournament, does Nomi Amer take him on in the power play, knowing his side is in trouble and in need of a big partnership from him. A big score from him. Does he take the spinner on? One delivery left in the Wahab side over. That's gone up in the air. Over the covers. He absolutely does take him on. And he'll pick up a boundary for it. What a way to get off the mark. Nomi Amer, the captain of RedZod. And with that, at the end of 5 overs, RedZod in some trouble here. 23 for 3. Still requiring another 138 to win from the remaining 15 overs. And now Abdul Basit continuing his first 2 overs. He's picked up 2 wickets, just conceded the 9. Looking for a third here. He's been given a third over. Manavjot Sidhu on strike. As that one's defended in front of backward point. And this time flicked off the pads. Abdul Basit now. A dot ball there. Nomi the man on strike. Facing the fast bowler here. Then now some changes being made in the field. Deep point brought inside the ring. Third man pushed back. And I think that's a good change. More so when Nomi looks to guide it down against the pace bowling. This time though, looking... They're just trying to drive it away, you could say, really, but through that point region. It's a very full delivery from Abdul Basit. And it will just be that dot ball. We've got a slip in place. We've got that deep third man, a backward point and a point. So a packed court in there on the offside between point and the keeper. And that's gone up in the air. Over the infield, running away to the boundary. Won't get there. As they come back for a couple of runs, do the batsmen. One delivery remaining now in the power play.
So here's Abdul. Nomi
And that's driven through the covers. Racing away. And that'll reach the boundary. So a boundary to finish the power play off. And at the end of 6, RedZod are 30 for 3. So just the 1 over for Wahab Syed, where he did pick up a wicket, but he's been replaced outside the power play, and Mohammad Behrouz has been brought into the attack. And I think this is a good decision, because Faisal Khan, he very well knows that you don't want a bold spin against Nomi, and so having a look at that matchup, he's gone for pace. He's gone for Behrouz, pace from both ends, and I think that's a really good call from the captain. As that's just guided down to deep third man. With that, Nomi comes on to strike. A key passage of play coming up here. If Comets can pick up another wicket, this is going to be their game. It still is, but RedZod things will be very tough if they're 4 down before the 10th. And that's a top edge. Running away. Will be stopped by that deep third man fielder, that outside edge. Nomi just looking to slog at that one, not getting to it, not getting that off the middle though. So a wicket falling here before the 10th, and RedZod, they're all but out of the game. As that one's driven through the covers. Chance. No, they'll get there. But if RedZod can strike back here, next 4 overs, get the score at about 10 and overish even. 1 boundary and over, followed by some singles and twos. Move the score around, get to 75 after 10, which is a big ask. Then all of a sudden you're looking at 90 from 10 overs, which is possible, which is very much possible. And so that required rate, it isn't completely out of control. 9.6, very makeable. You get 1 boundary followed by singles and twos, and you're keeping up with that run rate, if not more than that. So just limiting those dot balls, maneuvering the ball around and trying to get 1 boundary and over, that's what RedZod need to do at this stage. Don't need to do anything drastic, don't need a 20 run over at this stage. Just look to hit the ball around, try and get 1 boundary and over. As they'll come through for a second there. No. Looking for that overthrow run was a Manavjot Sidhu. Won't get it though. So he'll be on strike, having to face the last ball of the 7th over. This time just defended there straight into the pitch by Sidhu, and that'll end off the 7th over. Just the 4 coming from it, and after 7, RedZod are 34 for 3. Wahab's side now brought back into the attack. His first over, picked up a wicket, conceded just the 4, and a single down the ground of his first delivery. Going a bit fuller, and Nomi is driving that. Interesting to see they've brought the spinner back. Maybe trying to entice Nomi here to hit some big shots. We'll have to wait and see. Comets, they've got the runs in the bank. For now, they need wickets to try and close this game out. As that one's defended straight to short mid-wicket. Oh, and there, a swing and a miss. Is that an edge? Yes, it is! An outside edge and an excellent dig behind the stumps. And with that, Manavjot Sidhu has to go, and the 4th wicket falls for RedZod. They sink even further into even more trouble. And Comets, they'll celebrate. You could see that weight on the bowler's face. Just had to wait for a second as the keeper juggled that catch, but takes it in the end. And with that, the 4th wicket falling, 35 for 4 midway through the 8th. RedZod really not looking good here. Nomi Amir, the captain of the side at the non-striker's end. A lot rests on his shoulders now. And Mirza Humayun joins Nomi out in the middle. There you can see him coming out to bat. Still 126 more needed, 12 and a half overs left, and that required rate for the first time in the innings has creeped up to over 10, 10.08. That current run rate still below 7, 4.67 it's at, so still below 5. As that one's defended right back to Syed. 10.22 and over now. You can still look to go with that original plan of just get one boundary and over, and then look to take those singles and twos. Back yourself to get 50 odd off the back 4-5 overs. That's got to be the plan for RedZod. This partnership remains crucial. Nomi Amir and the man on strike, Mirza Humayun, who's yet to get off the mark, as that's the end of 8 overs. RedZod 35 for 4. Barrows here continuing his first win for 4. This one driven straight back to him. And it is really starting to get cold here as we get more into the night. The wind picking up as well. As that one's down the legs. Outside off. And a really good diving stop there. Barrows now looking to fix that line. This time that's got up in the air. Long offs there, but it doesn't matter. Sails over his head. And the first maximum of the innings comes off the batter, Nomi Amir. Something to cheer about for RedZod. Finally there, Nomi depositing one into the stands. knowing the importance of not letting that required rate rise too much. They're just pulling out the batsman. Oh, and that's a slower ball, just guided through the backward point, chance. No, that's hit him on the pads though. So they'll come through for that single. Some smart batting here from Nomi, making sure those dot balls don't build up. This over has gone for 8 with 3 deliveries remaining. As that's driven down the ground to a long off, pick up another single to the batsman. And with that, Mirza getting off the mark. Gets Nomi on the strike to face the final 2 balls of the over. That's short, pulled away. Fine leg coming around. Won't get there though for the catch. As he gets the ball back in, keeping it to a couple of runs. All of a sudden they've already gotten 11 from this over with the 1 delivery remaining. And that required rate 10.3, so keeping with the run rate. Our RedZod now. Oh, and that's pulled away. There's a man there. And straight to him. So there's the wicket. And it's the big one. The captain walks back. Nomi Amir. He's disappointed with himself. Hit it straight to the man. Saw that one a bit short. Tempted by it. Pulled it away. But there, mid-wicket. He will not drop that. Rosi Islam, I think that fielder might be. And Comets, they've picked up that big wicket. Nomi Amir, the captain himself, walking back. And at the end of 9 overs, 46 for 5 are RedZod. Still requiring another 115 from 11 overs. 10.5 and over that required rate's almost at. And this is going to be a really uphill chase for the side. Joining Mirza Mayun now out in the middle is Khamis Zahir. RedZod in need of many things. A partnership, quick runs. And Mirza and Khamis, a lot on them now. 5 down already, 115 needed in 11 overs. It is a semi-finals, do or die from this stage as Wahab side comes in. First one driven down the ground. This time just keeping it outside off. Syed, and leaving that one alone is Khamis. RedZod here. Really some shoulders dropping in their camp. As that one swept away into the leg side. A fine leg though comes around. Assan Rashad, that seems at square leg. Oh, and that's gone up in the air. Covers coming around underneath it. Oh, goes over his head. And the batsman coming back for a couple of runs. This time well outside off. And some arm exercises for the umpire. He'll have to take his hands out of his pockets in the cold weather. Oh, and an outside edge running away. Just a third man though.
I felt like, maybe, they need to bring the another fielder this week because they are getting so many chances there. And since Wahab is freaking, I guess,
Oh, and this time just keeping it outside off. It'll be a dot to finish off. And at the halfway mark after 10 overs, RedZod in some big trouble here. 52 for 5, requiring another 109 to win from these remaining 10 overs. Mohammad Barrows now continuing his first two, one for 15. Now bowling in the second half of this chase here. Comets have got quite the bowling options. Everyone they've used has done well. And we'll have a look at that bowling card in just a bit after this delivery. And that's an appeal. No, wide signalled by the umpire. The bowler did put a hand up there, but not to be. Now having a look at that bowling. Talal Zia opening the bowling. 2 overs. Didn't pick up a wicket, but just conceded the 9. Abdul Basid after that. 2 for 16 in his 3. Wahab side 2 for 11 in his 3. And now Mohammad Barrows 1 for 15 in 2 overs. 1 for 16 with that wide. As that one's just defended into the leg side. Barrows racing to it. Keeps it to a dot. Oh, and he's hit the stumps. There we go. An unplayable Yorker from Barrows, and Mirza Hamayoun will have to go. An excellent delivery there, and there's the wicket. Barrows striking, picks up his second wicket of the game. And it's that of Mirza, walks back. So 6 down now, RedZod. And some celebrations there for the Comets. Dead silence in that RedZod camp as they lose another. 53 for 6 they're at now, with Raza Saba walking out to the middle. And Raza Saba, Khamis, Zahir, they've got to put together a miraculous partnership, to put it simply, if RedZod are to get anywhere close to this target put up by the Comets. Comets, it's their game to lose now. They've all but won it at this stage, you could say. There's still 4 wickets left, but 108 runs in 9.4 overs, 4 wickets in hand. Not too many times you'd get to see that happen. But nonetheless, Mohammad Barrows charging in, looking to pick up another wicket. Oh, and a swing and a miss there outside off to Saba to start off. Barrows now, and that's guided through straight to backward point, and just keeps it to the dot ball. 2 deliveries now remain in this Barrows over. It's been a pretty good one. Just the 2 runs it's gone for and the wicket to fall. short. That's an upper edge. Running away to the boundary. Won't get there with deep third man in place. And they'll just stick to the single with that. Raza gets off the mark. One delivery now remains in this Barrows over, which is it down the ground to long on for that single. And with that, the end of 11 overs in RedZod are 55 for 6. Require another 106 to win from 9 overs. So exactly 5 and over they're going at a RedZod. 11 overs, 55 for 6. As Anik runs in. Anik Akram introduced into the attack. Starts off with a good delivery first up on a good length. Keeping it outside off that 5th stump line. Anik Akram, the 5th bowler used for the Comets. We've got quite the bowling options. Assan Rashad yet to be introduced into the attack. Shoaib side as well. I'm sure we'll see them sometime today. As the batsman looking for the second on that, will only get the single though. That's some really good work out in the deep. Racing in from long on. That single gets Raza on to strike. Anik Akram now running in. Oh, and this one down the leg side. Signalled wide by the umpire. We've seen quite the extras today from both RedZod and now the Comets. Have a look at RedZod, 17 extras when they bowled, and now with the Comets 13 extras when we're just in the 12th over. So almost an extra and over we're looking at for both the sides here, which is not exactly what you'd want, as that one's pulled away into the leg side. That'll be runs. Will it be 4 of them? Running away. Oh, doesn't get to the boundary. The fielder there puts a stop to it. I think they'll come back for a couple of runs on that. Yep, so they get back for 2. Raza keeping strike, that one a bit short. Look to just pull it away. Oh, and there's the middle stump gone. Anik Akram strikes, and Raza Sabail have to walk back. Dead on the middle stump, and it's knocked out of the ground. So with that, Anik Akram picking up a wicket in his first over. Mild celebrations from the Comet side as they pick up their 7th wicket now. RedZod 59 for 7 in the 12th over. And really this game, after every ball, after every wicket, just keeps on going away and away from them. Ahmed Chaudhary, the new batsman, coming out to the middle. He's an excellent bowler, Chaudhary, with the bat though. Not the best of players you'd want out in the middle. With 102 needed from 8.2 overs. Definitely someone who can bat. RedZod, they bat deep. Ahmed Chaudhary, he can very much bat. But this job, Ahmed Chaudhary, Kam Zahir, the 2 men out in the middle with just 3 wickets in hand, 102 needed. Really isn't looking too good for them at the moment. Anik Akram now into Chaudhary. He just defends this one, guides it really to backward point. Faisal Khan there. Keeps it to just a single, and with that Chaudhary off the mark.
I was just sitting there and I was like, oh my
One delivery now remains in this 12th over.
because the breeze was coming everywhere.
And now point move to covers. A slip in place. What's the plan here for Anik? Goes full. Driven straight to that covers fielder. And it will just be that dot ball. So with that, the end of 12 overs. RedZod 60 for 7. Still requiring another 1-on-1 to win from these final 8 overs. Now Shoaib side brought into the attack. Some unorthodox stuff. Chaudhary's trying first ball. Of sides over, not able to pull it off. He's got a slip in place to Shoaib side. An excellent bowler, under 19 player in the DMV area. And that one's just defended. But Syed played in minor league cricket this past season, representing the Fort Lauderdale Lions. Played a few games for them as their under 19 player. This one spinning back in sharply to Chaudhary, who just looked to cut that away onto the offside. Doesn't get it anywhere past slip. Oh, this time that's gone up in the air through a vacant square leg region. Though deep square leg is in place to keep it to the single. With that, Comets comes on to strike. Syed now, he's got 2 deliveries remaining in this over. It's gone for just the 1 run. Oh, and he takes that one. He takes that one on. There's a man in the deep. Doesn't end up taking the catch though. So put down that in the deep, and with that, Comets, he gets alive. Oh, he takes him on once again. This time it's Chaudhary. A couple of bounces though on this occasion to deep square leg. And once again, just a single. With that, the end of 13. RedZod 63 for 7. Assan Rashad into the attack. First ball. Takes him on. A couple of bounces. Too long on. Chaudhary picking up a couple of runs for that. This is the 7th bowling option that Comets have used today. And that's gone up in the air. Past covers. Well, didn't carry the covers on the full, but on the bounce to him as they come through for a single. Gets Comets Zaire on strike. Who's up onto 4 now. Off double the deliveries. This one hit into the leg side. As deep mid wicket comes around. Chaudhary looking for that second run. Definitely not on offer. Having a look at this field, you've got a deep covers and a long off on the offside in the deep, and on the onside, long on, deep mid wicket, and a deep square leg. So the field quite spread on the leg side there. As there he tries something unorthodox. Does Chaudhary? Doesn't connect. He wants a wide, and he'll get it in the end as well. So he'll have to re-bowl that, will Assan. A bit of a late call, that wide from the umpire. After the batsman showing some frustration. I don't think the umpire wants to take his hands out of his pockets at this stage. It's getting really cold out there. That one's gone up in the air. Covers underneath it. And the catch is taken. So the 8th wicket down now as Ahmed Chaudhary walks back. And it's Assan Rashad who struck this time around. So 8 down now, RedZod. Shoaib side taking that catch. And with that, just 2 more wickets remaining for Comets. 2 wickets is all that separates them from a place in the finals. As Asim Zafar walks out to the middle, joins Khamis Zahir out there. 15 and over required for these final 6 overs, 93 needed. That seems to be quite the miraculous task if RedZod are to get anywhere close to that. Oh, and he takes him on. There is a man out in the deep, but it sails over his head. So, first ball there, Asim Zafar, I believe that is. And he picks up a maximum for it. What a way to get off the mark. With that, the end of Assan's over. 1 over, did pick up the wicket, but goes for the 11. And with that, the end of 14 overs, RedZod 74 for 8. And Faisal Khan there at mid-wicket, the captain of the side, making some changes. Moves to more of a square leg now, really. As Shoaib's side continues. He's got a slip in place who's quite wide, really more of a second slip rather than the traditional first. As he comes in to Khamis Zahir. Where Asim Zafar that is actually. And that's nudged away into the leg side. And deep fine leg. Comes around, keeps it to the single. Oh, and he takes that one on with the sweep and picks up a boundary for it, down on one knee. And look to slog sweep that, did Khamis Zahir. 1 bounce into the ropes. So something to cheer about now for those RedZod fans, their team there. That one hit straight in their direction. Side, what's he got now? Coming back against that. Just pulls his length back a bit, goes outside off, just cut away from Zahir, and that'll get Zafar on strike.
We can't use anymore.
Oh, and this time just defended there by Asim Zafar. 6 runs have come off this over with 1 delivery remaining. Been a pretty good one from side. If he can finish it off well. Oh, and this one And just hit the square leg. And so it'll just be the dot to finish off. 6 runs coming from that, and after 15, RedZod 80 for 8. And that's driven down the ground to long off, and they want the second. Chance. No, I think he gets there in the end. That's really well run between these two, Comets and Assan. As Wahab's side is introduced back into the attack. 2 for 30, 2 for 11 off his first 3. So his final over coming up the 16th of the innings. This one beats the keeper. There won't be any harm though, as the batsmen decide against that single. That's swept away and running away to the boundary. It'll get there in the end. The cheers there from the RedZod camp as they pick up another boundary off the bat of Comets this time, who moves up to 22 from 14. Having a bit of fun now out in the middle. And this one, it's straight back to the bowler. Is that gone? No. Or is he gone? I think he is. Yup, walking back now is Asim Zafar. Came down a few too many steps. And that one, it's straight back at Wahab's side, who quickly runs to the stumps, takes them down. And with that, RedZod are now 9 down. Just 1 more wicket remaining. That's all that separates the Comets from a place in the finals. Oh, and this one's hit away into the leg side. And there is a man there at deep square leg. So keeps it to just the single. Safwan, the new man out in the middle, coming in at number 11. He'll be on strike now, facing his first delivery. Oh, and this time just guided down straight to slip. Just 1 more wicket now. That's all Comets need. That one's just defended into the covers region. And that'll finish off the 16th over. Really good one from Wahab's side. And with that, after 16, RedZod 88 for 9. And Shoaib's side here comes back 2 overs for 9. So his spin continuing here into the death overs against Comets now, who tries to take him on. And he'll get that into the boundary for 4. So picks up a boundary now to start off the Shoaib side over. And moves himself up to 27. He's got 3 boundaries and a maximum under his belt now. Does Khamis Zahir. Oh, and he takes that one on. There is a man out in the deep on the bounce to him though. And they'll stick to just the single. So that'll get Safwan on to strike. So Shoaib's side now, he's got 4 deliveries at the number 11 batsman. Safwan. 1 wicket, that's all is left. Was that clipped away into the leg side? Chance? No. Flights that one up in the air. And it's just driven over the long on. Oh, and he takes him on. There's a man out in the deep. Oh, put down. Put down. That catch went straight into his hands. But pops out in the end. And I think, oh, that should have been taken. But part of the reason it maybe dropped is the cold out here. It's always harder to take catches. When it is cold, it can really make your hand a bit hard. On the ball there, it will hurt. It will sting when it comes hard at you. And with that, the end of 17 overs, RedZod 95 for 9. Mohammad Barrows now brought back into the attack. 2 for 18 off his first 3. As this one is flicked away into the leg side. Running away. Don't think it'll reach the boundary. As they come back for a couple of runs. This one just guided down to backward point. Will just be that dot ball. 16 more deliveries now remain in this game. Or the 1 wicket if Comets are able to get it. Right, so I'm with both the captains here. The captain of the Comets, Faisal Khan, and the captain of RedZod, Nomi Amir. So Faisal, I'll start off with you. Into the finals, how's the team feeling now? You guys have won the semis.
We are very delighted about it. We are really, really happy and excited about it. It was a tough game, nevertheless. Very tough conditions to start the batting. As you can see, the ball was moving a lot, and I think we posted, even though like 20 runs shorter, less than what we were ideally planning to post, but it was good. At the end of the day, with the weather condition and everything, it was good enough total, and we prevailed.
Yeah, and tell us a bit about that performance with both bat and ball.
Yeah, like I said, that first few overs were really testing condition-wise, and the ball was doing a lot actually, and it was moving both ways, and we saw that. So it was just a matter of time that you hang in there and just keep the strike rotating, and then just target the bowlers when you get the right bowlers. And I think we just had enough total with our bowling lineup, and we had enough confidence in our bowling to defend through.
Yeah, and really well played today for you and your team, and congrats on making the final.
Thank you so much.
And now the captain of RedZod, Nomi Amir. Nomi, hard luck today out in the middle. We'll start off with the first innings with the ball, restricting them to 160. That's where you said you want to keep them to. So tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, I think our bowler bowled really well. We started really well. I think we gave too many runs in the field, and I think before we came into the game in the captain's meeting, we all knew whoever was going to hold on to catches and going to do well in the field, they're probably going to come on top. We dropped about 4 catches in the field, a couple of overthrows that went for boundaries, so that added another 20 runs. Even though we were comfortable with 160, but our batting didn't click today, and fielding was not up to the par, and they played very well today.
So overall, you guys did really well in this tournament. Tell me, what's the biggest takeaway for you from this DCL FAIRFAX T-20?
At the end of the day, you know, a lot of people, they just focus on bowling and batting. Fielding gets neglected. and I think this is a lesson for us that fielding is as important as our bowling and batting. So I think the fielding disappointed us. Batting didn't click, that's fine. I still believe in my boys in batting. Out of all this, the best outcome was that Hamis was out of form, and today he batted really well.
Now I'm with the man of the match here, Wahab side. Wahab, first off, really well played today.
Thank you.
Now, first off, with the bat, 1849 came in when the team was in a bit of trouble, right? They lost a couple of wickets early. Tell us a bit about that. Now you went about building your innings.
Yeah, I think the focus was obviously, if you get a really good start up front, then you keep the momentum going. But obviously, if RedZod, they bowled really well in the power play. They kept us on the back foot. They got, I think, 2 crucial wickets up front. So that's where, I was batting with the guys. I think we kind of just talked about taking it deep as much as possible. Because you could lose focus easily where, you're trying to go super aggressive and then you end up, with a short target. We didn't achieve the target that we were looking for, but we knew with the bowling attack we have that we have a good decent score, and RedZod will have to play out of their skin to make it happen. And I guess the boys on our side did the job in the bowling department.
Yeah, and tell us a bit about that bowling performance yourself as well, picking up 2 wickets there, those top order wickets. So tell us about your plans for today and then overall the bowling.
Sure, I think we just focus on keeping things simple. It's not easy in these conditions, especially with the colder weather now. So it's, you can practice all you want during the daytime, but the moment you come under lights in this weather, in this cold weather, it's hard. So that's where I think we focused on, keeping things very simple. As Nomi said earlier, fielding was very important, and that's what we talked about when we at the break. That if you hold on to our catches up front, we put RedZod under pressure, we have a very good chance of keeping the pressure and then keep making it hard for them, and that's what the focus was pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely, and it really did work out well for you guys. So congratulations on that. Good luck on that.
Thank you so much.
So the Comets, they have won the first semi-finals, defeating RedZod, and they're the first team to enter the finals of the DCL FAIRFAX T20 Cup. Join us on Sunday for the second